Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Surprising Golden State Warriors rumor claims team now willing to trade formerly untouchable players in blockbuster. A surprising new Golden State Warriors rumor suggests the players who were once reportedly untouchable in a trade have become available ahead of February's trade deadline. Over the last year, the Warriors have reportedly made a concerted effort to bring in another all-star level scorer to play alongside aging legend Stephen Curry. A year ago they made a surprising push for Lakers star LeBron James. In June there were rumblings of potential interest in Jimmy Butler and Kevin Durant. In July they were rumored to be the most serious contender for Jazz star of Lauri Markkanen. Unfortunately they failed in all of their pursuits of those game-changer players. Reports during the summer suggested talks for Markkanen fell apart over their unwillingness to part with youngsters Jonathan Kuminga and Brandon Podmski. A new rumor suggests that the front office's opinions on trading those players have changed in recent days ever since the Warriors lost to the Rockets in the NBA Cup quarterfinals. This team has been ramping up their activities on the trade market, sources told Clutch Points NBA insider Brett Siegel. There is certainly more of a willingness to discuss their young core of Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody and Brandon Podmski in trade discussions than ever before, sources said, opening several possibilities for how the Warriors could attack the trade deadline. Siegel claimed that adding a star-level talent next to Curry remains at the forefront of Mike Dunleavy Jr. and owner Joe Lab's mind, especially due to the serious slump the team has hit following a red-hot start to the season. Jimmy Butler is probably the biggest name that is likely to be moved before February's NBA trade deadline. Siegel believes they have to be seen as a heavy favorite in that potential trade market. Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga has been an NBA trade rumor favorite for some time now. His name has often been linked to speculations about a potential transaction that would get him out of the Bay Area. So far, however, Kuminga remains a Warrior. Still, many eyes are on Kuminga's situation, with fans closely monitoring his moves on and off the court. Take for example his social media post on Sunday night on Instagram, in which he shared a photo slide that he captioned with mere peace sign emojis. Kuminga's post could be nothing more than a simple flex on social media, but in any case fans can't seem to stop reacting to it. What does that caption mean? An Instagram user said, "You broke the net, bro," said another fan who was referring to the Kuminga causing the start of the Warriors meeting with the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center in Minneapolis to be delayed. Another fan meanwhile seems to be already embracing the idea of Kuminga's Golden State departure. "JK, I will miss you. You will be a star elsewhere. Get ready to learn Miami," chimed in another commenter. "I help the Dubs resign you," shared another Instagram user. A different comment read, "I know Kerr is unfair to you, but we will always support you, the future young master of the Warriors. The mid-range accuracy must be improved and the shots must be made bravely." The 22-year-old Kuminga has no guaranteed contract beyond the 2024-22 NBA season, which he is playing on a one-year $7.64 million team option that the Warriors picked up in October. It remains to be seen how exactly the Warriors will deal with Kuminga, who is on track to become a restricted free agent next summer barring an extension. So far in the 2024-25 NBA campaign, Kuminga, who was taken in the first round 7th overall of the NBA draft by the Warriors, is putting up 15.1 points on 43.6% shooting from the field, 4.4 rebounds and 2.0 assists per game. Miami Heat Golden State Warriors named favorites for Jimmy Butler trade. Jimmy Butler's name has been doing the rounds of the trade rumor mill for quite some time now. His future with the Miami Heat, and understandably so, it was widely reported in the summer that Butler wanted a max contract extension, but the Heat did not hand him one, as they wanted him to prove his fitness on the court before a long-term commitment on a 35-year-old with a history of injuries. Butler has had a stop-start season so far. He is a match winner on his day but continues to deal with fitness issues and has already spent a few spells out on the sidelines. On the other hand, it has also been suggested by some that he is planning to turn down his player option position to become a free agent next summer. Naturally, the Heat might be considering the possibility of trading Butler, and it looks like one team is emerging as the favorite in the race. According to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, the Golden State Warriors should absolutely be labeled as the favorites to trade for Butler. However, that doesn't necessarily mean he will 100% be heading to the Bay Area before the season's trade deadline. Of course, it is quite clear that the Warriors need to strengthen if they are put up a genuine championship challenge. While Steph Curry is still the face of the franchise, the Warriors had actually made a brilliant start to the season and were sitting atop the West at one point, but their form has drastically declined in recent weeks and they look like a playing team at best right now. All things considered, it feels like the Warriors need some star power alongside Curry and Draymond Green. A proven playoff performer like Butler might bring that to the table for them, but at the same time it would be the ultimate win now move from the Warriors, who might need to part with 3 or 4 players just to accommodate a contract of that size on their roster. NBA rumors Nikola Vucevic, Kuzma among several Warriors trade targets. The Golden State Warriors struck first during trade season with their acquisition of Dennis Schroeder from the Brooklyn Nets last weekend, but the Warriors apparently aren't done when it comes to upgrading their roster. The Warriors are still active in the trade market, especially following their NBA Cup loss to the Houston Rockets, with players such as Kyle Kuzma and Nikola Vucevic as potential targets. As per Clutch Points NBA insider Brett Siegel reports that the Warriors have become more willing to discuss several of their young players such as Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski in potential trade scenarios. In addition to Kyle Kuzma and Nikola Vucevic, some of the other Warriors' potential trade targets include Cameron Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jonas Valanciunas, Bruce Brown, Dante DiVincenzo, Mattis Thybulle and DeAndre Hunter. Siegel also reports that while Zach LaVine has not been mentioned as a trade target for the Warriors, that could change following LaVine's recent play. The Warriors have been a middle-of-the-pack team in the Western Conference this season, and they are currently 14-12 and in 10th place in the West. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games, including 3 straight. They are coming off a humiliating loss to the Memphis Grizzlies, during which Stephen Curry was held to only 2 points and no midfield goals. The team underwent a drastic change in the off-season when Klay Thompson signed with the Dallas Mavericks and free agency, leaving the only franchise he had ever known, and won 4 championships. With adding Schroeder to the team will help in terms of giving them another shot creator and offensive threat, while also being able to take some of the ball handling pressure off of Curry. But the Warriors are still going to need to upgrade their roster if they want to contend in the West. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Kuzma? Leave your opinion in the comments.